Another method for depreciation or finding the depreciation is the declining balance method. So in a declining balance method, we usually find the constant ratio. We have this one as our constant ratio. The constant ratio, which is equivalent to, or we make use of K as our constant ratio, which is equivalent to 1 minus the nth root, whatever is your n, okay, of the salvage value divided by the first cost. Now, another term for constant ratio is the rate of depreciation. So, rate of depreciation. So, we make use of K. So, in a declining balance method, we compute first the constant ratio or the rate of depreciation. And then, if we want to find the annual depreciation, usually in a depreciation, we usually find the annual or the total depreciation. So we have here the first year depreciation, or dep 1, represented by dep sub 1, that is equivalent to the constant ratio times the first cost times 1 minus K raised to 0. This is how we compute the first year depreciation. On the second year depreciation, we have here K times the first cost. K is the constant ratio, and then 1 minus K raised to 1. So we have here the third year depreciation. We have K F C, K, the first cost, times 1 minus the constant ratio, and then we have here raised to 2. If we want to find the fourth year depreciation, we have here the rate of depreciation times the first cost, and then 1 minus K raised to 3, and so on. So in other words, if you want to find the 8th year depreciation, then its formula is K times FC 1 minus K raised to 7. So the exponent here is usually n minus 1. Okay, n is the number of years. So first year, so n minus 1, that is 0. And then the second year depreciation, you have here 2 minus 1, that is equivalent to 1. Okay, so this is how we compute the annual depreciation. And then of course we will find the book value. The book value after m years. Say for example, we find the book value after 5 years. So m is equivalent to 5. So our formula is B, or the book value after m years. So we designate it as BV sub m, which is equivalent to the first cost times 1 minus K raised to m. So after, let's say, 5 years, so m is equal to 5. Okay, so that is how we find how we compute the annual depreciation and then the book value. If we want to find the total depreciation, let's say after 3 years, then we have to add first year depreciation, dep sub 1 plus dep sub 2 plus dep sub 3. Okay, so that is the total depreciation. Now, in the extension of the topic about declining balance method, we also have what we call as the double declining balance method. Okay, so the difference here is the value of K. In the double declining balance method, we make use of K as 2 over L, wherein L is the useful life. Okay, That is the only difference when we have the declining balance and double declining balance method. Again, the constant ratio or the rate of depreciation is equivalent to 2 over L. In declining balance method, we have K is equal to 1 minus the nth root of salvage value over the first cost. In the double declining balance, our K is equivalent to 2 over L. Now we will proceed with an example. Determine the rate of depreciation, the total depreciation up to the end of the 8th year, and the book value at the end of 8 years for an asset that costs 15,000 new and has an estimated scrap value of 2,000 at the end of 10 years by declining balance method and double declining balance method. Okay, so first we have to identify first the given data. Okay, so we have if you have noticed here, an asset that costs 15,000. So this 15,000 is the first cost, which is equivalent to 15,000. Okay, first cost. And then we also have here 2,000 as our scrap value or the salvage value. We have here salvage value, which is equivalent to 2,000. Okay, and then at the end of 10 years, so our N is equivalent to 10 years. Okay, end of 10 years. And then we have here we have this 8 depreciation up to the end of the 8th year. So later on we will have this 8 as our M. Okay, so we have here M is equal to 8. So these are the given data based on the problem. So first we have to compute first our rate of depreciation. Okay, so we will compute first the rate of depreciation. Determine the rate of depreciation using we will solve first using declining balance method. So rate of depreciation, we have here K that is equivalent to 1 minus the nth root. So our N is 10. Okay, divided by, okay, let me erase this one. I will rewrite it first. 10th root of the salvage value over the first cost, which is equivalent to 1 minus the 10th root. This is 10th root of 2,000 divided by 15,000. So if we solve this one, the equivalent is 0.1825. We round it to 5. So 0.1825, or that is equivalent to 18.25%. So that is the rate of depreciation. So we have this one as our rate of depreciation, and then this time the total depreciation. So we will solve the total depreciation up to the 8th year, and then the book value. Now if we want to find the total depreciation, of course we will compute the depreciation per year. Okay, so first year depreciation, we have our formula, K times FC times 1 minus K raised to 0. It will start to 0. So our K is equivalent to 0.1825 multiplied it by so we have 0.1825 times 15,000 as our first cost. and then multiplied it by 1 minus 0.1825, that is raised to 0, that is equivalent to 2737.5. Okay, first year depreciation. This time we will proceed to the second year depreciation. We have 0.1825 times 15,000 multiplied by 1 minus 0.1825 raised to 1, that is equivalent to 2237.91. And then the third year depreciation, that is 0.1825, 15,000 multiply it by 1 minus 0.1825 raised to 2, that is equivalent to 1829.49. And then the fourth year depreciation, so using same process with depreciation 1, 2, 3, we have 0.1825 multiplied by 15,000, 1 minus 0.1825, and then this time the exponent is 3, so we have 1495.61. So fifth year depreciation 6, 7, and then 8. Okay, so using same process, I have here the equivalent for the fifth year depreciation, which is equivalent to 1222.66, and then on the sixth year we have here 999.52, and then on the seventh year 817.11, and then on the eighth year, that is 667.99. So same procedure with the first, second, third, fourth depreciation. So I will just leave the computation. Instead, I will write the answer. So when we sum up this one, that is now the total depreciation after 8 years. Total depreciation for 8 years. So if we sum up this one, the equivalent is 12,008. So this is now our total depreciation up to the end of the 8th year. We have 12,008. That is how we find the total depreciation after 8 years. Now how about the book value? We have here the book value at the end of 8 years. So when we solve the book value after 8 years, so that is equivalent to the first cost times 1 minus k raised to 8 after m years. Okay, so we have here the first cost, which is equivalent to 15,000 multiplied by 1 minus k, 0.1825 raised to 8. The equivalent book value is equivalent to 2992. So this is now the equivalent book value, 2992. Okay, that is the book value at the end of 8 years, and then total depreciation at the end of 8 years, and then the rate of depreciation, which is equivalent to 0.1825. to 5. So this is declining balance method. So that is the declining balance method. This time we will proceed to double declining balance method. Okay, so double declining balance method. So again, our first cost is 15,000. Our scrap value is, or the salvage value, that is 2,000. So I will change this one. Okay. Now for a double declining balance, double declining, remember our formula for the double declining balance method, our rate of depreciation, or K, that is equivalent to 2 over L, useful life. So we have here 2 divided by 10. Our useful life here is 10 years, at the end of 10 years. So that is equivalent to 0.20, or that is 20%. That is our K. So if we want to find the total depreciation, again we have first year depreciation, that is equivalent to K, and then first cost, and then 1 minus K raised to 0. So we have our K here is 0.2, since this is double declining balance, and then 15,000 our first cost, and then multiplied by 1 minus 0.20 raised to 0. So probably this is equivalent to 3,000 when we multiply this one. On the second year of its depreciation, we have 0.2 times 15,000 multiplied by 1 minus 0.2, that is 0.8 raised to 1. So equivalent to 2,400. And then on the third year of its depreciation, that is 0.2, 15,000 multiplied by 0.8 raised to 2, that is equivalent to raised to 2, 1920. So same process with the third year depreciation, 5, 6, 7th year, and then 8. So the equivalent here for the fourth year of depreciation, that is 1536. For the fifth year depreciation, that is 1228.80. For the sixth year depreciation, 983.04. For the seventh year depreciation, that is 786.43. And then for the 8 years, that is 629.15. So if we sum up this depreciation for 8 years, so we have here the total depreciation, that is equivalent to 12,483.42. So we sum up this one, 3,000 plus 2,400 plus 1,920 plus 1,536 plus 1,228 plus 983 plus 786 plus 629. All in all, that is 12,483.42. So remember, take note, depreciation 1, our main formula is KFC 1 minus K. So since this is double declining, our K is 0.20. And then for the second depreciation, this is raised to 1. For the third depreciation, this is raised to 2, and so on. So the rate again, the rate of depreciation, that is equivalent to 0.20. The total depreciation up to the 8 years. So we have here our total depreciation, which is 12,480. And how about the book value at the end of 8 years? So we need to compute that one. Our book value on the 8 years, so BV sub 8, that is equivalent to the first cost, our formula, times 1 minus k raised to 8. Okay, but this time our k is 2 over L. So we have here 15,000 times 1 minus our 2 over L, that is equivalent to 0.20, and then raised to 8. This is the book value after 8 years. So that is equivalent to 2517.58. Okay, so this is now our book value after 8 years. So this is how we compute using double declining balance. Again, we have, for the declining balance method, our rate of depreciation, that is k equals the nth root of the salvage value over first cost for declining balance method. And for double declining balance method, our k is 2 over L. For the annual depreciation, to find the annual depreciation, this is our formula. For declining balance, our k is 1 minus the nth root. For double declining balance method, our k is 2 over L, wherein L is the useful life. So that is all about declining balance and double declining balance method of depreciation.